Hello, my name is Brad McClure. I'm the Ford Technical Recruiting Liaison for the Oklahoma Ford dealerships. Today we're going to talk about what it's like to be a good employee, what it's like to be a good technician at a Ford dealership. Being a good coworker. What does it mean to be a good coworker? Being a good coworker at any job has some attributes to it that would help be able to get along. It helps your work life. It helps you, your job satisfaction. It helps other people that you're working with. It helps your company. So what's it like to be a good coworker? What are the best practices of being a good coworker? So today I'm going to talk to you about that. To be a good coworker, you must strive to be someone that is likable. So you want to be someone that is likable. But how do you do that? How do you become someone that is likable? Okay, to be someone that is likable means you're going to be in a good mood, you're going to have a good attitude, you're not going to be grumpy. When somebody asks you a question, you're going to be able to answer it. There's a lot of things that go with being likable. Nobody likes to be around a grump, so don't be a grump. That's the number one thing. If you are likable, you're going to find some attributes that's going to be likable. To be likable, according to the dictionary on Google, according to the dictionary on Google, the likable is to be pleasant, friendly, and easy to like. It's especially of a person that is pleasant, friendly, and easy to like. So think about that. You got to be pleasant, friendly, and easy to like. No one likes a grump. No one likes being around a grump. Matter of fact, when you're around somebody that's grumpy, you tend to want to clam up and not say anything. I find myself to be where I'm actually kind of closed off and I don't want to say anything, because if they're grumpy, if they're stressed and they got, my wife calls them snaggly. I mean, sometimes nasty, always grumpy. Don't be a snag. So that's one of the things you don't want to be. Don't be a snag. Be likable. Be pleasant. Let things kind of roll off your back. They call that saying, you let it roll off your back. That's like a duck. If it rains, he doesn't think it's raining because it's just rolling off his back, and he's still singing out there in the rain. So so be pleasant, be likable, be friendly. Okay, so that means you got to show an interest in somebody. And that's one of the first things of being a good coworker. Be someone that is helpful. Okay. Being helpful means that if somebody needs some help, that you're willing to help them. Now, they might not even ask you for help, but if you can see they need help, give them a hand. If they're lifting something, looks like they're struggling with it, be helpful. Go over and give them a hand. If they, have a particular problem and you know the answer, try to help them out, Try to be strategic about it, but, try to help them out. If they have their trash over full and you're a technician and you're maybe next to them and you're going to take your trash, take their trash too. That's helpful. If you've got an oil drain or something, or you see they got a little bit of a mess or something and you got the mop out, just grab it and mop their little area up real quick. I mean, be helpful to them. That's huge, and that's the best practice of being a good coworker. Is just doing something that's helpful. Okay. Being someone that is pleasant. We've already talked about that. If you're gripey and grumpy and always looking for the negative and everything and always talking about how, this was not right, and this was bad, yada, 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 you're not going to be very pleasant. But if you talk about fun stuff, happy stuff, laughter, that's going to be pleasant. Someone that carries their share of the load. Now, here's something that you got to remember. You got to carry your share of the load. Okay, if it's your job responsibility to unlock the gates in the morning so everybody can get in, you got to be there to unlock the gates. That's your job. If your job is to mop the floors, you got to do that. If your job is to wipe the car down or to detail the car, you got to do that. Just carry your share of the load. Whatever your job responsibilities are, if you do your job, that's being a good coworker. To be a good coworker, you got to strive to be at work every day and be on time. So to be a good coworker, you got to be at work every day and be on time. Now I'm going to talk to some of the school kids about this, because this is something that I believe that our school systems are failing you on. They're not teaching you how to be on time every day. So let's talk about the school system for a minute, okay? So every semester, most schools that I've looked at and been involved with gives a student at least 10 days that they can be absent in a 4-month period. They call them 9 weeks. You got 9 weeks, the first 9 weeks, second 9 weeks, and they call that a semester. And every school that I know of that I've been associated in gives you 10 days that you can be absent in 4 months. So if you take that 18 weeks and divide it up, it usually starts around August 1st, August 15th, and goes till December, 20th or something like that. So you got 4 months there, and they give you the opportunity to miss 10 days. To be absent from school 10 days, and you still are able to pass, and it doesn't affect your grades any if you do all the work, and you get an A, and you still miss 10 days. Now, it even goes further than that. They let you be tardy, which means being late to class. And most places that I've talked to and looked at their policies, they'll let you be late 3 times, and before they count that as an absence. That means that if you made it every day, but you could still be late 30 days, 30 times in 4 months. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, that does not fly in industry. That does not fly in a job. That is not acceptable behavior. That is not something that you should do. It is not something that you can do at a job and expect to keep the job. You got to be at work when you're supposed to be there, and you got to be on time. That's your responsibility, and it goes back to doing your share of the work. If you're not there, other people are having to do the work that was there for you to do at that particular time. And that is not a good coworker. Being a good coworker is being there on time, being there every day you're supposed to be. Now, there's another drawback to that the schools are teaching you. You got all these breaks. You got fall break, It used to be when I was going to school, and I know you hear this, but when I was going to school, there was no fall break. They had student-teachers meetings. They had them on Thursday night, and they had them on Friday night, okay? And then sometime or another, they said, okay, we're going to take Fridays off for students and teachers and parents that maybe work nights and they can't make that evening meeting. So we're going to take Fridays off so that we can schedule those meetings with the parents on Friday during the day. So they took Fridays off. That went by for a while, and then they started taking Thursdays off so that they could have the whole day for student-teacher meetings on Friday and Thursday evenings. And this last year, I found out that one of the schools closed down the whole entire week for fall break. All 5 days. That's October. Let's talk about Thanksgiving. Now, when I was a kid, we had Thanksgiving break, but it was Thursday, Friday. Thursday for Thanksgiving and Friday after. And sometime, and since I've graduated in 1984, they said, okay, we're going to take Wednesdays off. And here lately, I've been hearing that some of the schools are closing down the whole week, Monday through Friday for Thanksgiving, because, hey, the students ain't showing up anyway. But, why would they show up? They've got 10 days they can miss, so they can miss those 2 or 3 days, and it ain't going to affect the grade. So some of the instructors was trying to rebel against that, and they started giving, hard tests or whatever. And if you missed the test, you couldn't make it up on the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But then they got into it with administration. You can't do that if they miss, and it's, excused. You got to give them time to make it up. Anyway, turned out to be a big mess. So they just started dismissing the whole week of Thanksgiving. So now you got fall break that you're missing, and you got Thanksgiving break that you're missing. And then you come around to Christmas break, and you get 2, sometimes almost 3 weeks for Christmas break. Okay, so here it is. You got 4 months, and you've got 3 good breaks already. All right. Now, when you work at a job, you're not going to get those breaks like that. You're going to work from Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturday, every week. You don't get to take off the holiday weeks and fall break weeks and Christmas breaks like that. You might get Thanksgiving Day off and have to be back to work the next day on Friday. You may get Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off, or if a particular job you have, you may have to work Thanksgiving, you may have to work Christmas, and you may have to work Christmas Eve, and you may have to work New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Okay, depending on the industry you're in, you're going to have to work. School is not preparing you for work by allowing you to miss so many days. Okay? If you missed 20 days in a year, because you got 10 days in the fall, you got 10 days in the spring, in the spring semester, right? That's 20 days in a year. And then you got all your vacation times and your tardy times. You're not going to miss that much at work. If you miss that much at work, you're not going to have a job. If you miss that much, they don't need you. They hired you to do a job because they needed somebody there that could do the work that was coming in that they needed, that they performed for their customers to make money. And they hired you to do that job, so you've got to be at work and be there and be on time, okay? So that's one of the big things about being a good coworker. Be at work, be on time, don't miss, don't be late. One of the things you can do to be a good coworker, best practice, is to help everyone you can, okay? Try to help everyone you can. Do your job, do everything you're supposed to do, so make sure you do your job, because that's part of being a good coworker, is pulling your load. But help everyone you can. Dump everyone's trash if you can. Sweep everyone's floor if you can. Help them take out their parts to the parts counter. If you're walking by somebody and there's a part in the parts room that goes to this person, you're going to be walking by it, pick it up and drop it off for them so they don't have to go up and get it. Save some time. If you're walking by and somebody's checking the lights, watch the lights for them and tell them, the signal lights are working, the brake lights are working, the headlights are working, tell them those type of things. Help them. That's just help everyone you can, when you can, as you're doing your job. Look for opportunities to help people. Okay, everyone needs help sometime. And if you are attentive and you are helpful, you will be able to see those opportunities. You'll be able to help people whenever they need help. Okay? Be willing to help someone else do their job if you're all caught up. Now, here's something that bothers, and I hear a lot of managers talk about. Well, when my guys think they're done with their particular job that I've assigned them to, and they ain't got nothing to do, they just sit around. Don't sit around. If you're paid by the hour, you are getting paid to do something. So do something, okay? Now, I haven't talked to a manager yet that gets upset if you're sitting at a computer training when you got all your job taken care of. They love to see that. They love to see you expanding your knowledge and your expertise and your training to be able to do your job. Now, if you don't have anything else to do, train. Get on the computer, do some web courses, do some training to be, now, I don't know if you're in a different industry, you may have something else you can do, but when you're not doing that, there's always a broom, there's always a mop, there's always trash to be taken out, there's always something that can be wiped down and cleaned, there's always a window that needs to be washed, there's always something that can be done, and if you can't find anything to do, go ask whoever's in charge, hey, I'm all caught up, what do you want me to do? And I'm sure they'll find you something. There's always a tool room that the tools need to be put up, and so a tool needs to be wiped down, that something needs to be serviced, something needs to be cleaned up, there's always something that has to be done or needs to be done that you can keep yourself busy. So always, always, always do something and help somebody else do something whenever you're caught up. Okay, it could just be as simple as cleaning up their area, sweeping or mopping their area, or just taking out the trash. That's simple stuff that you can do to help people out. So be sure and be attentive to that when you don't have anything to do and you're all caught up. If I'm carrying a trash can out and I walk by somebody else's trash can that's even half full, I'll pick it up and take it with me, right? So, it's just what we do. We gotta work together. We're all in this together. So something I did when I started, either the first thing of the day or the last thing of the day, I was getting paid by the hour. But I would come in and I would just hurry to get there. And sometimes I get there just a little bit early and I'd go grab everybody's trash can and I'd go dump it so they could start with empty trash cans. Now, if I got done early the day before and I had everything caught up and I had time, I'd do it before I left. But I would always try to make sure everybody's trash can was empty in the whole shop so that everybody could start out fresh with an empty trash can. And that's just something I did, and it was just a work ethic that I did. Now, I would always go through and I'd also grab the mop buckets and I would make sure they all had clean mop water and the mops were clean, and just something I did, and it made everybody's life so much easier because if you had a mess while you're trying to get a repair job done and you need to clean it up, you don't want to take time to have to clean the mop and the mop bucket to be able to clean the mess that you made. So I'd always try to make sure all that stuff was done. If the drain pans were full, I would always try to empty their drain pans if my job was taken care of. Now, I wouldn't go in there and do that stuff if I had work waiting on me. If I had oil changes and rotations and slight repair waiting on me when I first started, I would do the work I had to do first. But I would always try to get there early enough that I could get that stuff done before they started giving me work. I knew they was gonna start giving me work at a certain time. But if I got there and was ready to go, now if I had to work at 8 o'clock, I would be there and I'd have everything that I needed to be done so that 8 o'clock I was ready to work, not start to get ready to work at 8 o'clock, okay? So for me, I had drain pans and trash cans and stuff like that. I felt like I needed to do that and be ready to work, okay? I didn't start draining my drain pans at 8 o'clock. My drain pans were already drained and ready to go at 8 o'clock. And my trash can was already ready to go at 8 o'clock. So I didn't have to wait and do that when I got my first job. Does that make sense? That's stuff you got to do. And sometimes you do it off the clock. You just do, okay? But you try to work those moments in where you got some time to do that to where it's not going to affect what you got to get done. Now, when not busy, be sure to get busy. Make sure you got a broom, a mop, or whatever. Always make sure you got something to do, some kind of training to do. Always make sure you have that right there ready to do, okay? Sweep the floors, mop the floors, take trash out, take scrap to the bins. There's always scrap that needs to be taken to the bins. Take parts of the return parts. Ask the guys, hey, you need me to take anything to the parts for you? Got any trash you need me to take out? What do you need me to clean up? Do more approved training. If you want to, if you're just starting out and you don't have a particular direction, like if you're not an asset or something like that, and you want to start training a particular area, talk to your service manager. Say, hey, I want to start learning how to do transmissions. They say, great, and start doing those transmission modules. Start doing that training so that you can get, and when you get those done, you can go up to them and say, hey, I need to take this transmission class. I've got all the courses done. They have a transmission class on this date and this date. Which one do I get to go? So that's something that you can do and you get your training done. Organize the tool room, the break room or the workshop area where you got the workshop manuals and the wiring diagrams. You can organize those areas. Put books up, put tools up, clean tools. Those are the things you can do to keep busy. Okay, don't just sit down. Oh, I'm working on a quick lube today and I'm all caught up, so I'm just going to sit here in this chair and just soak up getting paid for doing nothing and visit with all my buddies here that's at work that's not doing anything either. You know what? 4 people not doing anything is even worse than 1 person not doing anything. When the manager walks back there and sees that, he blows a gasket. There's too many things to be done at a dealership. Okay, that's why having all this stuff extra that you've already got lined out. Now, if you are a quick lube tech and you get caught up and you're going to go do something in the tool room, you just got to go talk to your service advisor and say, hey, I'm going to go to the tool room and be working there. When you need me, come get me, all right, or page me or whatever. That's things that you can do to stay busy. And they know that you're in there doing something. When they need you, they can come find you. All right, you say, hey, I'm going to take all the trash out. Just communicate. You've got to be openly communicate. That's another thing about being a good coworker, is openly communicate what you're doing, where you're doing it, how you're doing it with your coworkers, okay? With the ones that need to know what you're doing, that's the ones you need to talk to. Smile and have a great attitude. I can't say enough about this. You got to smile. People wonder what's going on if you're smiling, okay? This seems to be simple, but it works, okay? There's a saying, fake it till you make it, all right? If you're not feeling good and you're not having a good day, if you just smile and you laugh about it and you keep going, eventually you're gonna start good. You can't hardly feel bad if you just smile and you're laughing, okay? You can't be in a grumpy mood if you're whistling and listening to music, that makes you happy and smile, and you're just going to eventually become happy, all right? It'll direct your attitude towards a good attitude, a good place in your mind to be, all right? People wonder what you're up to if you're smiling all the time, but that's okay, because that's fun too, all right? So it's kind of a fun, just to smile all the time. I like the way I feel when I'm smiling, and it is attractive for people to smile. I've had people tell me, you always smile, you always smile. I said, that's right, I'm always happy. You know, and I had this saying, and it's not my original saying. I had another guy I worked with all the time, and it's, you know, I've never been treated bad a day in my life. The worst thing that's ever been done to me is not as bad as some of the things that's been done to other people that I've witnessed, that I've seen, that I've, you know, read about, that I've seen on news and TV. I have been treated really good in my life compared to some people in the world, and some of the things that's happened to other people. So think about that. We are a blessed people in America that has a job. Laughter, just like smiling, it's contagious. Okay, if you smile a lot and you laugh a lot, it tends to be contagious. People like to be around people who are generally happy. Smiling is a gateway to laughter, and if you smile and you have that gateway to laughter, I mean, it's just contagious. People like to be around people that are smiling and happy and laughing. That's really a sign of being a good coworker, that you're smiling and laughter and happy and having a good time. The grumpy person is not pleasant and attractive. The happy people that's laughing and smiling, they are attractive and they are friendly. You would definitely approach somebody that's laughing and smiling a whole lot easier than somebody that's rah, 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 you know. This job, you know, they're treating me bad. They give me the routine. They give this other guy this good stuff, and they give me the bad stuff, you know. And who wants to be around that, you know? So, man, I got a good job today. You know, I got a good repair today, man. I got that one done today. Man, this is awesome. I really like what I did today. You know, I got that one fixed. You know, I won. You know, woohoo! You know, just be happy. You know, and I would just randomly, you know, shout woohoo! You know, and in the shop, and everybody knew that it was me, and they'd just go around and everybody'd rally and just go woo, woo, you know, and everybody just have a good time, you know. I mean, it's just something. And I'd go around and I'd sing, I love my job, you know, and it was just fun, you know, and just people liked it. Just set everything off to be a little bit better, a little bit higher tempo, you know, and you can't sing and not be in a good mood and laugh a little bit. So you know, I'd make up songs, you know, and just do things that make you smile and laugh. Laugh at yourself. If you're having a bad time, or you're having, you know, struggling with something, just laugh at it, you know, and smile about it, and, you know, think about it. This is not the worst that could happen. This is not a horrible situation. We're blessed. We got a job. We got an essential job, and we're getting paid to do stuff that you know, a lot of people, you know, don't get that opportunity. So remember that. Smile, be happy, laugh, tell jokes if you can, and you know, be in a good mood. So I'm Brian McClure. I'm the Ford Technical Recruiting Liaison for the Oklahoma Ford dealers, and I help people get jobs as technicians in Ford dealerships. If you or you know somebody who wants a job or would like to talk to me about this and find out some more information, give me a call, 918-928-7433, or email me at fordoktptc@gmail.com. This is a good job. This is a good career to be in. Pays well. It's got you good job satisfaction, job security. You can do this. I did it. You can do it. You can make a good living at it. And this is no joke. It's a pretty good profession. Have a great day.